Hi, my name is Nathan Spitz. I'm a biology student at the University of Kentucky here, and myself and Dr. Cooper have created two different models for your students to understand fluid flow dynamics, how it relates to the real world, and more importantly, your body and your cardiovascular health. This first model that we've created here is made out of simple materials that you can get from Walmart, Home Depot, or order off the line. We've got an oil pump here, some fuel pressure gauges, some different size hose and connector couplings, and this backing is made out of some shower resistant material and some PVC piping. We've used a red dye food coloring here to give some contrast against the white background and to sort of resemble blood. Gives it a kind of cool look. So what we're showing with this model is fluid flow dynamics and the path of least resistance, sort of how it relates to Bernoulli's principle. And when we use this model, we start with three different ways for the water to flow. We're going to see that this initial bottom path is the path of least resistance because we have some hydrostatic pressure due to gravity pushing down. We can go ahead and see that right now. You can see that the majority of the water is going through the bottom. A little bit is backing up into the vertical running tubes. This can relate to plumbing in your house, plumbing in the city, and your veins and arteries in your body. So we find that with this path of lower resistance here, most of the water is flowing through here, but if we create a little bit of resistance, we see that more of the water tends to go upwards into these vertical tubes because the pressure is lower now than in the bottom. See that a couple more times. And now what's interesting is if we close it off all the way, we get a nice big chute and an increase in pressure here. I don't know if you can see, but these pressure gauges are starting to go up and increasing the pressure. You can especially see it in this first one here. There we go, we're getting to about 5 psi. So now, if we create a little bit of resistance in this tube, let's let this water drain out. We create a little resistance in this tube, we're going to see that that diverts the flow to this first tube even more. And not much water is going up in that first one. I think what we need to do here is cut this off. You'll see that better. There we go. So as you can see, the pressure is increasing even more on this one when we divert the flow. We're getting to about 7 psi now. All right. Now, if we have, this can relate to plumbing. If you have a clogged pipe somewhere, the water, the sewage, whatever you have, is going to increase flow into one area, which can cause problems in having a burst pipe or leaky pipes, stuff like that. As it relates to the human body, if you have a buildup of plaque in your artery or your vein, you're going to have an increased resistance and the blood is going to be diverted to another area. So if you have arteriosclerosis in your leg, you may have increased blood flow to other areas of the body, which can cause problems because, as we'll see here, we're going to cut off the blood flow here. We're going to look at this pressure gauge. We're going to see it spike now up to about 10 psi. And as you can imagine, that can cause lots of problems in the body with burst arteries, burst veins, and think about what if you had a blockage down here, and so in your arm, and the blood is increased flow to your brain, and you have higher blood pressure in your brain. That's going to cause some dangerous situations in your body. And then, to make matters worse, we can cut off resistance or increase resistance in this open one. All right, so this is the only way blood's going to flow, but there's now some back resistance. We're going to see that the pressure spikes even bigger. We're getting almost to 15 psi. All right, and that's what can cause lots of problems in your body, in plumbing, and in any system that involves fluid flowing through pipe tubes. All right, have fun.